just back from a week off, a week in France, and just got back. Pond's doing fine. Did have a slight moment where, a slight issue where the drum, the RDF, errored out, and I had to get a friend to come around and reset it for me. But luckily I noticed that the flow had stopped. Using the camera, using the IP camera that's on the pond, I noticed that the flow had stopped, and so I was able to just ask him to nip round and restart it for me, which was great. So that worked really well, and the rest of it has gone fine. No problems at all. Fish all look good, so I'm really pleased with that. And the pond plants have gone crazy while I've been away. I'll show you a little bit of that. Just take you around the pond. Obviously not a lot's changed because I've been away in France, so but now I'm back, I'll crack on with the rest of the I want to put some trellis down the back of the pond, and I want to put a shower filter on it as well, and at that point the filter will be done, then I can box it all in. But at the moment things seem to be ticking along quite nicely. So as you can see, the fish are fine. They're doing okay. Like I say, the auto top up and the flow indicator worked really well while I was away. No problems at all. The drum did error out. I think I know what's causing that, so I just need to sort that. The plants have been going crazy, liking all the nutrients, and this one's started to flower. So yeah, everything's gone well, really. I didn't use the auto feeder because I had the nitrate issue, so I just left portioned amounts of food for someone to come around and chuck some in every couple of days. Really small amount, just, you know, if they hadn't have got fed for a week it would have been fine, but you know, they came around every couple of days, which was great, and just gave them what was the equivalent of half a handful of food, just to keep them happier. But yeah, I've now got to do a water test on it to see where the parameters are, but I think it'll be fine. I'm not sure if I mentioned on my last video the extra pump I've put in the moving bed. It's a 3,500 litre an hour pump, and at the moment that's just aerating into the pond. It's a bit of a, you know, fountain, I suppose, if you like. But part of the idea of that was to test whether I got better flow through the filter, which obviously I do. Eventually I'll be using that pump or one similar to power the shower filter, so that will come off a separate pump from the moving bed chamber again, and will sit on the back of the pond there to just increase the flow through the filter. The drum can take up to 60,000 litres an hour, so I mean I'm never going to get close to that, but so there's no problem there. It'll bypass the UV, which is fine. I've got enough flow running through that already. So yeah, water's a little cloudier than normal because I just cleaned the window up. I'd left it with all the algae over it for a week and a half, 2 weeks, while I had the nitrate issue. I didn't really want to be removing anything off the inside of the pond, and I'm pretty sure that will be resolved now. I've got to have a big tidy up now, because it's carnage from pond building, and in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks time, there's a log building going in that space there next to the pond, so I've got to order a skip tomorrow, and next weekend will be fun because it'll be cleaning up, and then as well I need to sort out the ground level and put some slabs in front of this window, because you get bad reflection in it from the ground itself. I think just having a dark colour in front and keep the mud off from splashing up, but also help with that reflection. Really pleased with the sail. Really pleased with that. The only thing I do need to do on this is I've noticed there's a lot of bird poo around the coping, and so they're clearly sitting up on top of the beams. So I need to put some of the kind of bird strip stuff along the top, I think, just to try and stop that, because you really don't want that in the pond, just for parasites and nasties that it carries. I think my moving bed chamber is working a lot better now. You can see the white K1 in there. I'm slowly adding more and more K1 to it. I've got another 50 litres. I'm just adding in a bit at a time to try not to impact the movement of the bed too much. But I think actually those sponges have really helped. So when I put the Pond Start on those sponges and put them in the moving bed, that's really helped hold on to the gel, breed a bit of a colony, I think, and then help mature the K1. I think what was happening before was it was just going straight to the bottom, getting sucked out by the pump and thrown straight into the pond. So having some small sponge in here to help hold on to that beneficial bacteria in the early days, I think is really helping. It should be much better, I think, once I've got all the K1 in it. You can see the difference in colour between the first 50 litres and the new stuff that I'm adding in. The original stuff is maturing quite nicely. While we were away, we went to an aquarium in France, and I took some video there, so I'll probably put some clips of that on the end of this video, just in case anyone's interested. It was quite good. There was lots to see. The thing about the aquarium that was really quite cool was that they had a glass screen across one of their filter rooms. I'm assuming it was just one of, not their only filter room, so you could see what they were doing filter wise. So I'll include that clip as well.